Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Thiago. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good morning, sir. Sunday morning.
Good morning,
Time
Kitty.
to wake up. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Teddy. Good morning to all.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone.
Very good morning, Mataji.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Puru. Good morning. Hi, Satya. Oh,
Hi,
you didn't change a bit. Same you. Okay, except the specs. They were not there earlier.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, sir. So just waiting for everyone to be there. Let's give a minute.
Today, how was the Beast movie?
No, didn't find time. Couldn't watch it. So today also probably I will not be able to watch it. I don't know. I was outside, completely busy. Just reached home by a little late evening. Was tired. They started the movie, but I slept in the sofa itself. So just a minute, sir. Waiting for others. Hi, Vijay. Oh, you have a common wallpaper background. Others, sir, can we have your presence on the camera? If possible, no force this week, but next week, yes. Some internet issue. Just a minute. Okay, so without any further delay, 5 minutes buffer is always fine. Can we get started now? Because we'll have to cover a lot of content. We have to cover. So how many of you installed SQL Server on Linux already and played with it a little? Just asking. Anyone have got a chance to play with SQL Server on Linux?
I hate Linux.
Oh, you're talking like Steve Ballmer. Okay. The last CEO of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer. And I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
Steve Ballmer called Linux as cancer, and that became a big news, huge news in the buzz. And then after that, the company had to do hell lots of things to. I mean, Satya Nadella had to do a lot of damage control, and then finally he said, "We love Linux." And then this whole story started in 2017, or maybe before 2017. Okay, so then, hi Ravi. Okay, Ravi has bandwidth issue, I think. Yeah. Hi Hari. Okay, two common names. Surnames are same.
Yes.
Ravi, related, right? Or no?
Yes, he's my brother.
Okay, okay, got it. Done. So just a second. Ravi, you have bandwidth issue, I think. Okay, sir. Let's.
Yes,
It's okay, but at least you're able to hear me, right? Is the audio video clear from my side?
Yes, okay.
I'm talking about Ravi. Sir. Ravi, is the audio video clear from my side to you? Just confirm once. Okay, so with that, time to get started while Ravi gets back.
Good morning.
Okay, while Ravi is confirming. I'm starting, sir. All good? Perfect. Okay, sir. today, without any further delay, let us go ahead and start with virtual machines. And as I said the last time, we'll go with the VMs directly, sir. And one thing we all should definitely be tracking on is VMs are on the screen. I have shared my screen. Let me know once you see my screen shared. So few slides, okay? Just few slides on a discussion note. Then we will jump and discuss about other things, okay? Yeah. So I'm sure you all know this, or if not, you will know it now. What Microsoft does is if you noticed really, what Microsoft does is for every service that they, or AWS also, for every service that they sell, they come up with some innovative or creative logos. Yeah, or icons in simple words. So VM has an icon. Other services have an icon. Sometimes our icons get registered in our mind. So just letting you know. Okay. So first topic to start before starting virtual machines is, as we discussed yesterday, Microsoft has around 220, 230 services, 25 services available. Now, some services are IaaS, some services are PaaS. SaaS, we don't work because we are not developers building any applications here, right? So definitely SaaS is something that we use. We don't create any SaaS applications. I wish we were some developers, we would have done it. So SaaS doesn't even come in our discussion. IaaS and PaaS will. So all the services that we are going to learn, not all the 225, but the ones that we are going to focus on, that will be either part of IaaS and PaaS. Some will cover in IaaS section, some will cover in the PaaS section. So with that, sir, moving on. In SQL Server 2014, sir, Microsoft did a small change. You all know, right? VM started in 2010. Official launch was in 2010, virtual machines. Yesterday introduction we talked. Azure started in 2010, officially. Agree, sir? I hope you will. Started in 2008, research and that all, right? And officially it was launched in 2010. 2010, it was called as what first? Windows Azure. Windows Azure. And after that, sir?
Microsoft Azure.
Correct. So it was renamed in 2014, it was renamed as Microsoft Azure. So that's the story of Azure, right? And so after that, anyways, in 2014, so once VM started and everything, initially what happened, sir, when VMs were created, I repeat, sir, initially what happened when VMs were created, what they did was, if Vijay Bhaiya is creating a VM, every VM will have a hard disk, obviously. Every VM will have a network card. Every VM will have a CPU, a RAM memory, and a lot of other devices or many other connected things with every virtual machine. Initially, so in 2010 to 2014, what happened was the deployment model. Can you see the heading of this point that we are discussing? The deployment model was called as classic, the old one, classic one. In classic deployment model, there was a small problem. If you are creating a VM, all these resources, right? So network, storage, VM, all these infrastructure resources that are there, all of them were independent. Independent means individual. Meaning, if I am deleting an example, I'm saying, so to make it much more easy, if I am deleting a virtual machine, I will delete a VM. Again, separately, I have to go and delete the network. Again, I have to go and delete the storage. Again, I have to go and delete all the connected components with that. So because each component was called as independent and individual, that's what classic model says. In the olden days, 2010, or in the beginning days, Microsoft launched only classic model. In 2014, what they thought is it is getting tough for people. It is getting tough for people. So they switched the idea. They started calling it ARM, ARM. So Azure Resource Manager, ARM in short. So what benefit ARM brings? So simple, only one benefit ARM brings. Azure Resource Manager says that I will call VM as one resource, virtual machine, hard disk as one. Obviously, everything is a resource only. You all know it. Hard disk is a resource. Network is a resource. What you can do, sir, you can keep all these resources under one resource group. And there is one resource manager checking all this. So by creating a group, right? So by the benefit of creating a group, you can group all the resources and keep them. If you want to apply some setting, if you want to modify some setting, if you want to give permission to somebody. So if I want to give a permission to somebody on storage, I have to give permission. On network, I have to give permission. On VM, I have to give permission. It's going to be crazy, tough. I'm talking about in classic model. That's why this ARM model came. In ARM model, say you can give permissions, or by the way, permissions and all you leave. So if I want to delete something, I can delete the entire RG. A whole RG will be deleted. VM will be gone. Hard disk will be gone. Network will be gone. It's going to be very, very easy. So that is the reason behind Microsoft creating an ARM model. So there are two deployment models again to clarify. Now, sir, now in 2022, you don't have classic model at all. It's not available. If you really, no, KD, I want classic model. For example, if you say that, no, I need a classic model, then there is one option. You can go to the, what do you say? Azure portal, which I'll show you today how to create. Some of you know it, some of you might not. So just I'll show once. Azure portal, sir. Go to the portal and there you can create the, what do you say? Classic VM also, old one. Plus you can create a new one, both. But sir, officially, when you go and see, classic is not available. If you really want classic, you have to go to some place and then check it from there. So I'll show you both. Give me a few minutes. But sir, is the concept clear? Why did Microsoft introduce ARM, Azure Resource Manager? Only fundamental concept is that lifecycle management is what they call. So let's say Ravi is supporting one healthcare application. So let's take an example, a healthcare application. So there is a healthcare application. Application involves what all stuff? Application may have its own things. An application needs a database. So database is there. An application might need a load balancer. Load balancer is there. An application might need another traffic manager. So an application might need a lot of VMs. So what I'm saying is, sir, all these applications belong to a healthcare application called Healthify Me. There's an app called Healthify Me. All these belong to Healthify Me. Now, Healthify Me ran for 10, 15 years. And after that, they are trying to close it off. Example, I'm saying. My Health or something. Healthify Me is a good company, so let me not close Healthify Me. My Health is an app. So My Health app, they want to shut off. Business is not so good, so they want to shut off. Now, if they want to shut off the business, just delete the entire RG, sir. VM will go away, storage will go away, database will go away, application will go away, everything. So that's called as life cycle management. So normally, why do we create resource groups? Because so in real scenarios, as a DBA, let's say you have been asked to create a virtual machine. So it's happening. Many companies, it's happening. We are creating our own virtual machines. Normally, Windows team used to create earlier. It's not the case anymore. It's not the case anymore. In Azure or AWS especially, we are building our own VMs. And my company, we are doing it. Many of our friends, they are doing it. KDSSG friends only, I'm saying, outsiders also. So the logistics are changing. So the way we work is changing. So create VMs, but make sure whenever you are creating a VM, we have to ask a counter question. Where do you want me to keep this? In which resource group? Am I clear, sir? Or is there any question? If ARM is clear, right? That means, sir, you should ask. Indirectly, the question means what? Oh, is there any application or is there any resource group where this should be part of that? That question we have to ask. So, okay, I'll show a small picture to all of you, sir. Maybe one picture can give 100 explanations easier. Look at this one. Sir. There is one.
Sorry. I have one question. So in a real-time environment, if some request come as a, you have to create a one VM. So you said you have to ask with the team like which resource you have to do. This
Which
resource
resource group?
Yeah, which resource group? Sorry. So in that which resource group in sense, the resource group will be in a private cloud or public cloud. How can we do?
So first of all, anything that we are doing, because private cloud means our own infra, our own setup. So private cloud is a different way of working completely. So whatever we are discussing now is public cloud.
So
All
because,
the discussions.
Because some of the environments they're using only private clouds. So,
correct. So private cloud is nothing but Microsoft has given an infrastructure for them. Like yesterday we saw, right? Dedicated host. And they are saying that you create your VMs with us. You keep your VMs in our server, but dedicated host. Now you got dedicated host means you will not create VMs the way we are creating. That will be a separate method for that. Because,
not in portal.
Not in the portal. Because you have got the one server, you have got your ESX host, as somebody said yesterday, meaning your Windows team, there you have to give control to Windows. Windows team will go and, like in your office, sir, what you are doing right now, same way. So that is why they are saying private cloud means they are giving us an option where we can host our VMs there. That's the main thing. And so whatever discussions we are doing now is absolutely on public cloud. Okay, so now look at this picture, sir, as stated a few minutes back. Our database is there, an application is there, and some virtual machines are there. And all have a common purpose. They are working for some applications. They all are working for some project. So what you can do is all of them you can keep in a separate common resource groups. Common life cycle, they live together, they die together, they give permissions together. You can put settings together, you can apply a setting, you can remove a setting. Management becomes easy if you do like this. On the contrary, what you can also do is look at this. All three are present in 3 separate resource groups. That is also fine. It's your choice. I mean, see, by the way, KD, if database is in one resource group, application is in one resource group, virtual machines are in one resource group, will they not communicate with each other? No. Communicate, talking to each other, communicating with each other, and resource group is not at all a connected topic, sir. Resource group means you are managing them together. So we all are SQL Server DBAs. So I think I can definitely say this sentence. In a cluster, you have disk, you have SQL Server main service, you have agent service, you have got all the resources, right, sir? The resource group concept is there in our cluster also. In your clustering clue admin, when you log in, there is a resource group. Inside the resources, you have all the SQL Server main. And when you fail over, sir, the whole resource group fails over there. So like that, I know I'm just comparing, nothing much, but a database, an application, a virtual machine, all of them can be in separate resource groups also, but logically it makes more sense if you keep them in one common resource group. Any questions, please?
So here, Kitty, when we don't want this particular VM or server in this particular resource group, when we turn off, all related resources will be turned off and charge will be saved, right?
So we cannot turn off a resource group. That's a good point that you said. We can turn off a VM only. A resource group, first of all, there is no charge for resource group, no cost.
Okay.
It is just a logical thing which you can group the things together. That's all. There is no cost for resource group. Second thing, sir, just like there is no cost for resource group, it binds people together. Like a caste system, sir. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not going into religion and caste now. That's not my intent at all. But it's logical, right? It doesn't really exist. It's all our perceptions of our mind, and that's what we created. So something like that. So resource group is logical, no doubt about it. But it binds all the people together, all that resources together. That's all, in simple words. And they have a coexistence. They live together. I think that's why it's called as life cycle management. Till the application is there for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it all will be managed together. That's the whole intent. So now one question, if no questions, then can we go forward? Because I just want to show one more small picture, sir. Same thing represented in a different way. And maybe this will give more clarity, sir. Project X, project Y. Let's say you have a project, say, in your office. So the resource group name can be a project name also. So, and under that project, so you have storage, you have VMs, you have database, you have website. So all these are bound or binded together as one RG. And so one more thing, look at this. A network connects all of them. Virtual nets are everything is a service in cloud. So network is a service. See, actually, sir, in Azure, if you're creating one storage and there is a VM, if the VM wants to use the storage, there should be a network, correct? And so if the VMs wants to talk to each other, there should be a network. Network is also a service in the cloud. Everything you have to pay for network. You have to pay for ingress. You have to pay for egress from a hard drive, meaning we'll talk about that later. So for a website, you have to pay for every component you are paying. But what I'm saying is you can keep network in a separate network resource group. You can keep all the components in a separate connection, and resource group have no connection. So communicating with each other, talking to each other has nothing to do with resource group. Am I clear to everyone? Resource group is logically grouping things, and that's a conclusion statement. So I don't have anything else to tell out. That's a conclusion statement. Resource group only groups people together. It has nothing to do with communication point of view. If I keep one database in one resource group, if I keep a website in another resource group, website can't access database is a bad statement, wrong statement. Website can access if network is there.
But the network is not in the path of the resource group, right?
Network in this picture, which we are seeing now, network is in a separate resource group. It's okay, it's fine.
But if we want, we can add this network group in the same.
Absolutely, the network can be bought here also if you want. So what I'm saying is anything can be kept anywhere. It has nothing to do with the communication between each other. So ideally, sir, this also must be here. I get, but this picture was shown to tell you that it works with the other way also. Or each one of them you can keep in separate resource groups. It's your choice. It's your planning, your architect planning. That's all. And that planning part must be learned in Azure 303 and 304, Azure Architect, designing the systems. It's part of the 303 and 304 curriculum. Admin, Azure admin, 303, 304. Okay. Anyways, let's move on now. Is that clear, everyone? If there are no questions, and by the way, one resource can be in one resource group only at any point of time. It cannot be part of two resource groups. Not possible. I mean, it's a basic stuff, sir. You can move one resource to another resource group. That is also possible. Got it, sir? A resource is present here right now. You can move it to another resource group with some commands and all that. So those are available. Done?
So the third image.
Which one, sir?
Third image is
maybe it's a moved one, or maybe it's you moved it later or created like this, but yes, it's possible to. Okay, so last one. Sir, I just want you to know three words here. One is resource, that you already know. Disk, network, everything is a resource. Resource group means a group of resources will be kept in a resource. So are you clear with these two words, all of you? There is also a word called resource provider. Okay, resource provider. So Microsoft, what they do, if you are creating a virtual machine, right, sir, Microsoft will always call. So who will provide virtual machine to you? Microsoft will provide. In Microsoft data center, a lot of servers are there. There a VM will be created. You don't know in which server the VM will, which building, which floor, or which rack, or in which server your VM is going to be created. You don't know. But sir, that intelligent planning will be done by Microsoft data center, right? They have some logic, they have some algorithm, they have a orchestration, smart and intelligent orchestration they have. Orchestra means they play together and tune together and decide, right? So Microsoft.compute is the provider. Microsoft simply says, whenever let's say Jagdish wants, whenever Jagdish wants a VM, it's a very basic thing, sir. Jagdish gets the VM, but who gave Jagdish the VM? So don't say Microsoft. Let's say what? We should say what? Microsoft.compute. That is the provider. And one more thing, sir, we should also say, if Vijay Bhaiya is creating a storage, a hard drive, so Vijay did not get hard drive from Microsoft. It's Microsoft.storage. So storage. So Microsoft.storage is called as the resource provider. Microsoft.compute gives you VMs. And if you're creating a website, sir, Microsoft.web creates the website. So technically what I'm saying is there are providers, in other words. Okay, and sir, ARM template, this comes under DevOps and automation area, like ARM template. Let's say, RK, you want to build around 150 VMs. So 150 VMs means you can't go to portal and tiku, you can't create all that options, right? It's going to take too much of irritation and effort. So obviously you'll think of automation. So what you can do, Ram, is create an ARM template. ARM template, create one template, like decide what all you want. ARM template, start DevOps tool, some DevOps tools. It could be Ansible, some DevOps tool, and use the ARM template and spin those 150 VMs at the earliest possible. So that technically comes under DevOps stuff. So ARM template, ARM, Azure Resource Manager template is what they call. So 4 words we've already done, sir. First one is resource. You already know what it is. VMs, hard disk, storage, network, all these come under resource, website, database. Resource group means group of resources, and then the resource provider, the one who gives you the resources, is called as resource provider. And last but not the least is for automation and building stuff smartly, you need ARM templates also. That's all. If you're clear, terminologies are clear. Concept we already have discussed. So I think we should, by the way, sir, this topic will come a little later. We have some interesting demos built on it. RBAC means role-based access control. So as a DBA, we all know roles, right? Bulk admin, disk admin, DB creator, process admin, server admin, setup admin, security admin, sysadmin, right? So we have the roles that we have, server level roles, DB level roles, data reader, data writer, deny data reader, access admin, security admin, database admin, DDL admin, backup operator, owner. So we already are familiar with these roles, right? Let us not dare to remember Azure roles, because the roles of Azure are too many. So we really can't. So important ones we will definitely know: contributor, administrator. There are co-administrator. So we have different roles that we can talk about. But sir, why I'm talking about is, when you want to give permission to somebody on a VM, you don't have to give permission on individually every resource. You can rather give permission on the entire resource group. It's going to be easy. So sir, at the end of the day, concluding and moving on, sir, resource group makes our life easy. That's it. 2010 to 2014 was a torture era because everything was independent, classic model. Okay. So anyways, before we move on, so let's go. Sure.
Yeah. If I want to restrict one user to go with the sum of the resource only, he can do that. So is that possible here?
Excuse me. So you want to, Tyagu, you are the Azure administrator in your company. And what you want to do is Akram and Raman. So both of them you want to restrict and say that, hey, you guys are going to use only virtual machines and nothing else you will touch. Absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. So on the resource provider, you'll give them permission and they will only be able to touch VMs and nothing else. And by the way, Thiago, I personally have restrictions on the subscription that I'm using. I'm not a global administrator. I'm not. So good ones. Yes, it is possible. Okay. So now, so just look at this picture. I'm on the Azure portal. How we will create 2 minutes. We'll see it. But before that, if you want to create a virtual machine here, can you see? So whenever you create a virtual machine, by default, you will get only ARM, I mean, resource manager concept, deployment model. Unless and until you type here on the search bar on the top, so type virtual machines. And when you type virtual machines, it will give you 2 options. One is a classic wala, and the second one is a ARM. Obviously, this is ARM. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you want classic, as I said, it is still available, but you have to do it this way.
Legacy model.
Absolutely legacy. And nobody uses it, to be frank. or unless and until if somebody have a requirement for some reason, I don't know what, but why, or maybe they're using their old servers that are still on the classic. So that's why this option is still provided. Okay, so all of you fine with this? Or you want to see it once? Okay, first let me show you the normal one. Click on virtual machines and sir, it loads just a minute. And then I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Give me just a second, it's loading. I'll close this option. There you go. Now what's the? Yeah, so I told you right just now. So each one of us must have a subscription first. So if you want to create any play around in Azure, you need a subscription. So that is what we will be creating. You don't do it now, so you just watch it. You will be creating it next Friday by the time you come to Saturday's class. Okay, next Friday, please create, or else I will unnecessarily waste that week. So look at this one. So what is it saying? Anything you create in Azure, the first thing it calls is resource group. And that's what we just discussed till now. So Katie, what can I do? So there are two options, right? I can do a down arrow and I can select any resource group which is already available. That means this is a server I'm building for that application purpose, sir. HR application, marketing application, some application. There is already an application and they have asked me that, hey, build one more server for us. We want it. And then I will keep it in that RG, sir. And so one more thing I did not tell you. Why should we keep under RG is because billing becomes also easy to track.
So we can apply the
cost
same,
tracking.
Same configuration we have applied that. New
Configuration is one point. So what I'm saying is tracking, bill tracking, that also becomes kind of a little easier. Okay, anyway, sir. So two options, please. You either select the existing RG. Can you see, sir? I already have an RG called test RG. You either select that or go for a create new RG. So it will ask you, give me a name. Tell me what RG. So I'll call it as KD Azure B16 as our batch name, sir, called -RG. Is that okay? That's it. So done, sir. Completed. Then what? Nothing. So time to create the VM and all. We'll do that. We'll do that. So let me go back because I have to still discuss some more. So first we'll finish all the theory and directly jump into the demos. Okay? Got it? So now after you understood RG concept, resource group concept, now first and main thing, sir, what we should understand is some more terminology. So now you know RG terminology, some more terminologies. One is what is a region? What is an availability zone? What is an availability set? These things are very important. Okay, sir? So region. Oh, okay, wait. First, let me take a notepad and write down all those terminologies which should be good at. Okay. So first one is Azure Global Infrastructure. First words. Second word, Azure region, Azure geography, Azure availability zone, Azure set. Okay, sir. These are some important things that we should be knowing. Region, geography, zone, set. In again availability set, we will have fault domain, update domain, content like fault domain and update domain, which we will discuss just in a minute. So ready, sir? Shall we start now? So first of all, go to Google and search for Azure Global Infrastructure. I did nothing. I just went to Google and searched for Azure Global Infrastructure. If you want me to do again, I will do Azure Global or Azure Data Centers. That is also fine, sir. It will give you the first link itself, Azure Global Infrastructure. So please go there. So 2 minutes, sir. I'll not waste time more. As Microsoft is clearly telling, as of today, 60 plus data centers they have. Sorry, sir, not data centers. 60 plus regions they have. So click on Explore the Globe. a globe image will come by. Just watch it. Sir. 2 minutes. I'll skip the intro. Yeah. So this is what they call the Azure Global Infrastructure. So I'll close this and now watch the image. Sir. So on Earth, what Microsoft has done is they did a lot of C cabling connections, all done by Microsoft itself. So it was not an easy effort built on a single day or so. But if you can zoom into India, right? In India, I'm on India right now. This is South India, which is in Chennai. And this is Central India, sir. I believe Mumbai or Pune. South Central India. This is Mumbai and this is Pune. One is Mumbai, one is Pune. So this should be Pune and this should be Mumbai, if I'm not wrong. Correct. So, and one more, sir, in Hyderabad coming up. It is not there on the slides yet, on the global map yet, but it is being built. So one more thing, the Mumbai data center is being closed now because it was a collaboration with Reliance, I think. Reliance had its own data center, some collaborations. I don't know what did not work business-wise. I have no inputs, but it's not there anymore. You will not see it. It's there, but you will short. See, do you see that color changing? If I click on that, just watch. Oh, this is Hyderabad. Okay. So 1 second. Sorry, I did not zoom deep. They removed Mumbai one already. So this one is the one which is launched, about to be launched in Hyderabad shortly. Coming soon. Okay, sir. So at least I'm talking about India. Other locations we can go and see. And do you see one more symbol called this symbol? My mind is blank. Rhombus. So thank you. So this represents, if you click on it, this represents geography. So time to understand terminologies now, one by one. So first terminology is, if you can scroll down, we have it here. Just a minute. First, let's try to understand a region. What is a region? So a region is nothing but set of data centers. I'll write down here. A region, a region is nothing but, or maybe sir, first I should mention Azure data center. So Azure data center means one building. Sir, one building in Microsoft data center is called as Azure data center. Got it, sir? One line, simple one line. I'm just giving a one-line quotes, nothing more. Any questions, please, for now? Overall global infrastructure. Overall global infrastructure, sir. That's it. So Azure data center means one building. So in one region, in one area, meaning in India, how many regions we have? 3 regions we have, 1 announced and 2 are already operating. Mumbai one is closed already. So region means a region is a set of data centers. It means in one area, multiple, you saw the video yesterday, right? Multiple buildings will be there in one region. So each data center means one building. 200 plus data centers are there. I told, sir, how many data centers are there? 200 plus data centers are available. Okay, sir, clear? And region wise, how many regions are there, sir? 60 plus regions are available as of today, and this count may change anytime. We never know. They may come up with one more region. All okay? Any questions? So what is geography, sir? So Microsoft did what? Microsoft broke the world into different geographies. So as you can see now, you can see India as one. So you can do one thing, sir. Do a filter and just do a filter by geography. I think it's possible. Remove all, just click on geographies. So see what they have done. Whole world is split into geographies. Got it, sir? All good. India is one geography. And in India geography, how many regions we have? 3. Like that, sir. Globally also, they have split. See, for example, this is Qatar and this is UAE. And this is Israel. And this is Africa. And in this is Europe. And in Europe, they have got too many, because huge business more, they'll have more regions. Sorry, it's geographies. US also will have multiple. So like that, sir. Any questions?
What about that satellite, KD? There is one image revolving a satellite.
I like your creativity, but I don't know, sir.
It is monitoring all regions.
Okay. Yeah, no idea. It could be somebody else.
It is monitoring all regions.
Possible. No, but again, sir, I don't know. Microsoft is not into satellite business, but they would probably have, because satellites are needed, sir, because without that, how can that global communication go well? So definitely they have satellites. Hey, by the way, hey, Hari, I want to answer this question in a different way, which you asked. Microsoft has set up something called Edge, EDGE. So if you have not seen what is
Edge, you are breaking up.
For everyone, or is it only for Hari, sir? Am I breaking up? Is my audio not good?
Edge, you are breaking up.
Your voice is breaking.
Satellite problem. Can you hear me now?
KD, your voice breaking. KD, your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now? Is it good now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, clear.
Am I still breaking
Yes,
up,
KD.
or is it clear, sir?
Better now. Yeah.
I can't hear any of you.
KD,
Speaking?
KD, we can hear you.
It's good now. We can.
Are you speaking? Can somebody talk?
hi KD.
I'm not able to hear
KD,
you.
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Are you able to hear me? Video symbols?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Now
you
it's
can hear me, but why can't I hear you? Over. Just a minute. Can you guys talk now?
Hi KD.
Hi, KD.
Can somebody speak now? Thiago, you're speaking.
Yes, we can hear you, KD.
1 minute, sir. So sorry. Am I audible? I am audible.
Yes,
sir.
yes, KD.
1 minute, sir. Can somebody talk now?
Hi, KD.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
KD.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Hari, you commented on satellite and it all broke. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. So I just have one word as Hari was talking about specifically on satellites and all. So there is one, maybe for today we'll not talk, but I would just want you to know there is something called Edge. EDGE, Edge. So I don't know if you watched that video of today. Again, am I breaking up?
No.
You're good.
You are clear.
So yesterday, if you watch in this video, right, so the same video, let me play it off quickly. So did you see? So Microsoft Data Center is available anywhere. Meaning, sir, of course, if you want internet or if you want data center access from here, this place where they are standing, it's not a data center. They are somewhere else in the woods or somewhere in the forest and all that, right? So it's possible there also. But they need to carry a device which is connected through the satellite communications and all that. So it is available, Hari, but I don't know how they are doing it. But okay, let's go back to the topics. So any questions on what is geography? So how do we write, sir? I mean, what line shall I write? Geography means
Set of regions.
So just check this. Microsoft's own way of explaining global infrastructure. The lines are there. We'll just copy paste. So you just watch it. So on the right hand side, come on. Look at this one. Sir. What is global infrastructure? Overall, 200 plus physical data centers they have, which we already talked just now, right? And then, sir, what is a data center? One unique building. One building is called as data center. And so by the way, I can go and directly create the VM and finish this discussion, but that is not the point, because tomorrow when we are working on the global Azure infrastructure, we should know what is what. And I mean, some of you know it maybe, but still, sir, my intention is to tell that the understanding should be clear. So you feel comfortable when you talk to your Azure administrators or cloud administrators, the language will be same. So what is a region? A region is a set of data centers. That's exactly what we have written already. A region is a set of data centers. 60 plus regions are available as of today. Got it, sir? Yes? Okay, done. Next one. What is a geography? So an Azure geography is a discrete market, meaning it is decided by whom? Microsoft decided. Discrete market, it's a market for them. And sir, contains at least one or more regions. In India, we have minimum one region or more than one region, sir. Okay. That all depends on what, sir? Some rules. So you may ask a question, are KD on the global infrastructure? Why Israel? I mean, come on here. I mean, Israel is just a small, not a small anymore, but ideally a small country. And why does it require a region by itself, a geography by itself? Because Microsoft may be having customers there and they created, the customer base is better. And so in Europe, you will see a lot of geographies. I hope you saw it. US, you have hardly 3. So like that. So technically, it is not about, it is about business. So for example, if you are following government rules, the country's data must not be stored outside. So Europe, you're aware, right, sir? What is that? Europe has introduced recently, not recently, in 2014.
Data security.
What is that called as? The compliance rules?
Data proxy something. Data protection laws.
What is that? There is a 4-letter words. Everyone, do you know that? Sorry. Europe data protection law. What is it called as? My mind's blank. I'm so sorry. GDPR. Sir, general data protect GDPR rules. Sir. Europe is so strict now. I mean, Europe is one country that evolved and said that if you store our data anywhere outside, we are going to charge you X amount of money or 4% of your overall revenue, the turnover of the company. So their rules are so strict. That is why, sir, Microsoft had to be very cautious in planning and putting more geographies in Europe region, especially, and said that, okay, hey, we are following your rules. These are the geographies. Your data will not cross this border. So your country data will stay with you only. Okay. Any questions? So why Europe has more geographies? I'm telling you, to meet the GDPR standards. Yes, Vivek.
Oh, nothing, KD. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go.
So any questions, sir?
KD, on a note, I would like to share one thing. It's on only 2 minutes actually. I have in my project. I don't want to share my company. In my project, we have some Europe servers. We have some Europe servers that from US side, it should not be accessible actually. Yes, and from India only we have authority to access. From US side, they are not allowed those servers to access actually.
Absolutely. So look at this one, sir. Look at this, not 4%, 2%. So look at this. The fines can be as rigorous as 10 million euros, not dollars, sir, euros. 10 million euros. And then or 2% of your company's annual revenue. If you are crossing the rules of the country, so you have to pay this much of fine. So they are so stringent and so strict. This happened in 2014. These rules are there from 2014. The world is shaking, by the way. Since then, to do business with Europe, it's like very, very tough now, especially for following these rules. All okay? Not wasting time, sir. Any questions? So what is the geography, sir? Now, again, in simple words, let's talk. What is the geography? In simple words, quick. In your own words.
It is a market which have one or more regions.
That's all. It's a market decided by Microsoft following some rules. Okay, so here you go. There is a abbreviation. We'll take it. So again, the explanation can be too big, but let's take. Okay, we'll write our own words also, sir, right? This is the perfect sentence, and here you go. I'm keeping it. Let's read it. An Azure geography is a discrete market, right? Right, or discrete market also you remove. Azure geography is typically, or typically can make it simple, right? Contains, Azure geography contains at least one or more regions. Is that okay, sir? To start with, easy definition. Yes, everyone, with your approval again, please, fast. One or more regions. Yes. Then, sir, that preserves data residency and compliance boundaries. And it's and defined by the country rules, and Microsoft plans these geographies. So you know how you want to explain in an interview. They're asking, they will ask, by the way. So you can use your own comfort terminologies and use it. So, but I've put we customize the definition, but this is what it is. So in simple words, if you have to say, geography is decided by Microsoft in breaking VMs into, breaking regions into one geography. So you follow the company's rules, boundaries, and compliance rules. Okay, so the last two dangerous words, because they will take time. If you are ready, shall we move on? So these are the fundamental building blocks of VMs. Next one, sir, zone. So, but before starting zone, I don't want, because you're only watching theory, right? Let's start. Let's start. So first one, VM name. So KD-test VM 2 or something like that. I'm just giving some names. Location. So this is what, sir? Region. So you can do a down arrow, and it will show you on the left hand side. You will obviously see what's the geography, and under geography you have regions. So you decide where you want to keep it. So when you are all doing lab, I would recommend to you. So when you are doing the real environment, your company will tell you where to keep, right? You know it. So that's not the point. Right now, when you're doing labs, my request to all of you is, please use East Asia. Now you may ask me a question, why KD? So a reason is East Asia has got less restrictions when you are using a free subscription. Other regions, all regions, because they are very aggressively being used by different people or different customers, maybe. So they put restrictions for free users, because we all are free trial users. I'm not, but you all will be free trial users, right? So if you want to effortlessly create VMs and play with the all the features, all the services of Azure, please recommending all of you to go with East Asia. Okay.
Settings and all change. Nothing will be changed. Right?
Now everything will be same, but restrictions will not be there. Meaning, I'll give you a small example. Sir. If I want to create a VM in US or India for that matter, South India. So what happens is, if I am a free subscription user, Microsoft says that you cannot use this stuff. Why? Because they are using it for paid customers. So that kind of restrictions will be there. If you don't want any of that restrictions and comfortably you want to finish all your demos, please go for East Asia. That's the only reason. Or else you can create anywhere.
And in real-time subscription name and virtual name, everything they will give, right?
In real-time subscription name will be by default there, because your company will be purchasing one subscription.
Okay. If you wanted to create new subscription means,
first of all, in real-time, we will not create any subscriptions, because your cloud administrators, the architects who are there, right, in your company, they will plan and create subscriptions. And now you may ask a question, what is a subscription? So we have that discussion later. But in simple words, if I have to explain for today, Subscription technically means that you're paying for it. There's a bill and cost associated with it. So in your company, there could be one subscription, or in your company, there could be multiple subscriptions. Can you see here, sir? I have got multiple. So it could be, again, what I'm playing now is what? Can you see here?
Yeah.
Sandbox. Play area. Like if you may have something similar for your organization, like that. It depends. Or second thing, sir. Anyways, our organizations are not giving any sandbox at this moment. So you will play with your free subscription, which is, if you create a free subscription, you'll get 13,300 rupees. 13,300 rupees budget will be given by Microsoft to play for 1 month. So 1
So in
month.
that case, which virtual server, which subscription we need to be part of it, they will give the names.
You're talking about real time. Yes. So if you're creating a VM, we have to ask a question. Hey, this VM must be created in which subscription?
Name and all also.
Yeah. So name and everything. And then subscription can be for every application can have a different subscription also, because you're paying for it. Or every country may have a separate subscription. How your company planned, like that. Okay, done, sir. Then there you go. So first subscription details, then resource group name, and then virtual machine name. VM.
Sorry to disturb you. Is that possible to create a our own subscriptions? Like we have made this kind of subjects. These are the things we need in this subscription.
Is it possible to what? Thiago, your voice is breaking in the middle. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
Is that possible to make the subscription as we want, like the company wants, like these are the set of the rules I need in this subscriptions, like that? Is that possible?
Customizable, absolutely. But only global administrator or somebody can customize that. Not everybody can. We can't customize the global admin role or the administrator role, the global one. That person can customize it. Yes, you can. Like you said last time, right? Same question, sir. It's possible to customize.
One more question, subscriptions, existing subscriptions we are using, and the same way next tab, do we have to create new resource group, or can we use the existing resource group as well?
Your choice. You can 100% use an existing resource group, or like what I am doing, a new resource group also you can create. It's your choice. Your choice means they will tell you, right, when building a VM, or you have to ask, or we have to ask, hey, if somebody is asking us to create a VM, always ask which subscription, which RG, existing one or a new one. So these questions we have to ask. And what is the name of the VM you want me to give? And in which region you want me to create?
Okay.
So these questions always we have to counter question and ask.
Thank
you. Yeah. Okay. Done. So any questions?
And KD, this resource group, is it a kind of unique or something? How it is? I mean to say, like if we
go ahead.
I mean to say, like if we give some name, if the name is already available, it will show us something else how it is.
Correct. So if, for example, right now this is being newly created. If I want to use an existing one, I can just do a down arrow. It will show us all the resource groups which are already existing. I can select them.
Okay.
Or
it means to say, like
create a new one. Yeah.
Okay. It means to say, like whatever the resource group available on the subscription, it will show here. That's all.
Correct. In the subscription, exactly 100%. In the subscription, whatever resource groups are available, it will show. So in Thiago's subscription, he may have other resource groups. In RK subscription, he may have something. In Vivek subscription, Vivek can have something else. So yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
KD, can we restrict the resource group in the drop down?
From not displaying for my account, right. Yes, 100% possible. Restrictions are possible. Move on. Any more questions, please? So then you should know this, everyone. Watch this. Zone concept. Zones. So look at this now. Zone concept is there. Set, the same thing I told you now, right? Zone concept is there. Availability set concept is there. Scale set we'll discuss later. But zone concept is there. Availability set is there. or no infrastructure safety required. So for example, if I select the first option, so listen, please, important. I don't know others who are off camera. I don't know you're listening or not, but please focus. So availability options, especially. So no infrastructure if I select, I will create a VM. So my VM will be created, no doubt. And sir, where it is going to be created, I don't know. In some building, in some, of course, region is East Asia. In East Asia, which data center, meaning which building, I don't know, somewhere. And in which rack, I don't know. And in which server, I don't know. But somewhere it will be created. Correct, sir? Is there a safety for that VM? Answer is no. Because sir, just a VM is created. For example, it got created in 57th rack. And so for some reason, only in the 57th rack, power outage occurred. Only for that rack, it was connected to a separate power source. That power source failed, sir. It can happen in Microsoft data center or AWS or anywhere, so we don't know. So a disaster can always occur. So if such of that kind occurs, your VM is. Now, so listen, sir. Now listen. If I created 100 VMs, and sir, I don't know, it's a brain and logic of Microsoft, right? Microsoft created all my 100 servers in the same rack, in different servers, same rack, all my 100 servers. If power failure, that rack fails, I lose all my 100 VMs. Got it, sir? So there is no safety. Practically, first of all, leave safety, sir. Practically, we don't have control because it is all orchestrated by Microsoft, planned by Microsoft. So, sir, it will not happen. I mean, or Microsoft will not say, Microsoft will guarantee some SLA for you, right? Hey, we are managing your SLA VMs. We will guarantee this much SLA. If this SLA is not met, we will give you, you can first, what do you call? Put a case on us. No. Agreement says, if we are not meeting the SLA, we will give you credits. That credits you can use in Azure only if you want again. That's the sweet offer they are giving us. But anyways, leave it that. That's a different topic for some other day. But for now, sir, do you want your server safety or not? Is my question to you. If you say yes, sir, then we will start discussing these two topics.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, perfect. We all want, sir. We all want. Obviously, we all want safety for our servers, right? So now, safety for a server doesn't mean clustering. Okay, I'm not talking about clustering. I'm not talking about log shipping. I'm not talking about mirroring. I'm not talking about all that nonsense. I'm talking about server level safety, VM level safety. So database level safety we'll discuss later. So first VM level safety. So what to do, sir? Simple. Select. There are two concepts: zone concept, set concept. So first, let's talk about zone concept. When you go for availability zone, sir, availability zone, very simple. It will tell you, do you want to keep this VM in zone 1 or zone 2 or zone 3? Okay, KD, no, did not understand. So then look at zones. If you want to understand more about zones, so first let me go to Google and search for Azure. I have content, but first I'm showing you from official Microsoft documentation, and you will officially read it, and then you will only know that, oh, okay, what this guy is saying is making sense. So there we go. Go to zones. So availability zone is nothing but, so what Microsoft did is Microsoft intelligently planned something else. So now a region is nothing but set of I'm not stuck. I'm waiting for the answer. Data centers. Right, sir? A region is nothing but set of data centers. Perfect. So now look at this. This is one building. This is another building. And this is another building. Some buildings. Some places it can be one zone, two zones, or Microsoft says that, hey, how many total regions we have, sir? Total regions, 60 plus?
60 plus.
In total 60 plus regions, some of the data centers, sir, not all. Some of the, not data center, what did I say? Sorry, sir. Some of the regions are availability zones, meaning in those regions, we have planned something better for you. Meaning, sir, they are creating a very good high-speed internet and network between these three zones, three buildings, I mean to say. Come down, sir. Just come down. In America, so look at the places which all are having availability zones. So in America region, you have Brazil South, Canada Central, Central US, East US, East US 2. All these are part of availability zone. Meaning KD, East Asia, sir, the one that we created just now, East Asia is also an availability zone. But in India, none of the three data centers are availability zones. They are normal data centers. They are not zones, sir. You don't have this zone level protection. So East Asia is the way we are creating now is an availability zone. So that is why, sir, because it is, I'll show you now. Let me do down arrow and select South India. For example, I'm saying, let me go to South India. And sir, now you come to infrastructure redundancy and see, do you have zone option? The zone is disabled because South India is not a zone. So you do one thing. Yeah.
We found Central India somewhere.
Central India. So Central India, do we have now? So I think they removed it, but let me check it. Let me just search for India. 2 data centers only are available. Yes, sir. It is there.
I saw in your web page.
Oh, it's there. It's there, sir. Maybe they officially do not remove it yet, but I'll pick Central India. Oh, it's a zone. Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Central India is an availability zone. Pune, I think. Central India is Pune, sir. Oh, sir, it was not an availability zone earlier. Maybe it is now. I did not check that update. Thank you. Okay, sir. Okay. If it is there in India, why it is not there in the website? Okay.
But you choose
East
Asia.
Is there, KD?
Where is it, sir?
Asia Pacific,
Yes.
under Asia Pacific, second one.
Second one. I saw here only, KD.
So sorry. My site gone. I'm so sorry. I did not notice it, sir. Hey, by the way, it was not there earlier. Probably it was recently added. Last batch we were discussing, so it was not there. So maybe it was recently announced a zone. So, or maybe I did not notice it, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So yes. Sorry, we have in India. So South India is not a zone. Other Central India is a zone. So East Asia is a zone. So now, what does ideally a zone mean? If you can come to the top, sir, the typical meaning of zone is they are giving control to customers. So that means you and I, so we can create our VMs and say, hey, I want my VM in this building. And sir, one more thing we can plan. I want my second VM in that building. And I can tell, sir, I want a third VM in this building because you want safety, right, sir? And between them, you do clustering. Why I am recommending clusters, sir? Because they are close to each other. And so they have a latency of how much? 2 milliseconds. So it's like high-speed internet. So they are absolute always on AG. Not DR. I'm not talking about DR, sir. High availability, HA. So always on AG. One more replica you can keep somewhere else if you want. But sir, technically, you can plan that safety, sir. That safety planning is possible in a zone. If it is not a zone, then you create the first VM, it will go into some rack, sir. You create the second VM, it will go into the same rack maybe because you don't have control. So do you agree with the concept or any questions anybody have? Or if you want to stop me, I'll wait, sir. But zone is an excellent concept. DBAs or anyone else can plan your always on AG, best option, sir. Always on AG, keep it in a zone. Your VMs are safe. Or sir, one more thing, not finished yet, sir. I'll take the questions. What you can do, sir, you can also select all the 3 zones. So that means what will happen, sir? Yeah, I don't want to do clustering. I don't want to do clustering and all. I don't want to do always on AG and all. I am selecting all the 3 zones. That means, sir, please read. Based on your zone selection, we will place 3 virtual machines, each in one zone. That means, sir, you're paying triple.
The 3 virtual machines are creating now.
3 VMs are getting created in three buildings.
But we are having access to only one VM, right, KD? At the time.
No. You will be able to access all the three. So, or you can set up an infrastructure in the background. You can do a load balancer, that kind of stuff we can do. But again, leaving access part, we will keep it aside. But first things, are you clear on what I'm saying? First of all, so if you want, you can pick a single zone, or if you want, you can pick multi-zone also. If you pick multiple zones, yes, sure, sir. I'll take the question. So if you create multiple zones, the VM will be created. 3 copies of the VM will be created. That's what they are saying. No, KD, I will not do like that. KD, then let me do in a different way. I will create one VM here, one VM there, Windows VMs, sir, all 3 VMs, and between them, I will do always on AG. That way, I'm having safety. Agree, sir? That way, I'm doing safety. Or 3 copies I will do. That way, also you have safety. So you have to plan, sir. That designing you have to do. But zone says that, availability zone says that in one region, we will give you multiple zones, or rather multiple buildings, and you can keep your VMs there. Yes, sir. Open for questions now.
Okay. KD, how about that VM name? Because we given one name,
so,
right?
Vijay Bhai, I will do one thing. That testing we will do again, one VM creating in 3 places, we will not do for today. But definitely we'll do the testing later, that what will be the VM name, 3 copies will be created, and how would that come up? I think, guys, I think that's a absolutely point we have to definitely test. But for today, we will exempt it, but we'll definitely test it.
Creating individual VM on 3 zones and creating at a time, something will be different or same?
It will be different, right? So see, one VM I'm creating here, and then I can give a name of my choice. VM, we can call it as AZ1, meaning availability zone 1, AZ2 and AZ3. But now what Vijay Bhai's question is, what if I give 3 zones I select, what will happen? So we will do the testing. Not today only we'll do the testing, but after some time.
Portal itself, suppose if a user is creating multiple virtual machines on zone 1, by default it's giving the zone 1. So portal itself is Azure portal will give the recommendation already in this zone 50 virtual machines are connected. Second zone, no one is not selected yet. Please choose this option, zone 2 or zone 3.
It would
load balance type.
No, because if it's an infrastructure headache that Microsoft must manage, unless and until they are exhausted by the infrastructure and they don't have anything, an error message may pop up. But not normally, sir. Not like that. It should not be the case.
So no matter if all
as a
the
customer,
people
my
by
choice.
default select the
zone 1 also, they have to power zone 1 and keep more VMs. Or so they will also analyze, right, how much of load is coming. Accordingly, they will add new servers. The team is always sitting in the data center. So whenever they see the load
itself, it will be recommend us, it will be good, right? So already zone 1 have 50.
So portal will not see all that, right? Where customer is choosing, it will see that. It's it. So portal will not look into our recommendations. So I don't think there will be recommendations like that. No.
So load, nothing matters actually. If we zone 1 have 50 virtual machines, and zone 2 has only 2 virtual machines.
Your choice. Your choice.
So KD, so here we are going with the regions, zones, right? So let's take an example of US location, and we went with the US some specific region, and there are multiple zones in US region, right? So how would we know whether which zone is was selected and how frequent this 2 milliseconds, I mean this speed, right? There's a message mentioned, right? Like let's take an example of India. We know like central India, like Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So Pune and Hyderabad might quite near, and that might be a speed. I think that way is that calculation happening.
No.
How about that?
In one region, I'm saying in one region. So it's not between Pune and Chennai. So because Pune is a separate region, Chennai is a separate region, Hyderabad is a separate region. So between them, zone will not be there. Zone ideally means that in that region only, in that region,
all right,
building 1, building 2, building 3, they are next to each other. They are nearby, pretty nearby. And that is why how we can achieve the 2 millisecond latency is because they are close to each other.
Yeah, thank you.
Sunday morning, 7:40 puja. When somebody woke up so soon. Balaji, question is for you, sir.
Mom.
Oh.
That's
Okay. Done.
she wake up around like 4:30. It's
Oh,
usual
okay.
time for her.
Everyone, sir, happy Mother's Day. I think today is Mother's Day. And obviously you have to wish your mom and your wife, especially, or if you're married. So today is Mother's Day. Done. Okay, done. Can we move on?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
May I add yeah. So is that possible? Can you go a little bit up that zone?
You know what? That PUBG, the gun, right? That sound is coming so constantly for us when you speak. So just saying. So sorry, but could not hear the audio. There is some mic issue. Go ahead, Tiago. I'll try to. Go ahead.
Can you go up a little bit for the image, zone image? So I'm creating one VM in the availability zone 1. Is that possible to make my copy in another region itself?
1 second. What did you say now? If you're creating VM in one zone,
yeah,
its copy can be created in remaining zones also, because you have that option, right? Tick all the three.
No, KD. I'm asking about I want to keep my another copy in a separate another region itself. Is that possible?
That is okay. That doesn't come under availability zone, right? Zone means this is okay, guys. I'm sure you're talking about this one. Correct? What you're saying is you may have a zone level safety. Can I have a VM copy in another location, another region, in another geography, in another country, in another place? Absolutely, yes, sir, possible. But the latency could be more. Between these three, latency can be 2 milliseconds, but with that one, it could be a little more. Possible. So you can have a DR planning also. This is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and then another DR planning with another location. So always on AG, best examples, sir. Primary replica, for example, this one, secondary replica 1, secondary replica 2, and you can have a secondary replica 3 here. And we are doing that, by the way, in our lab. Okay, so all okay. Any questions, please? Last on, because that's all about zone. We don't have anything else to talk about zone. So
can you please tell availability zone in sweet words?
Sweet words,
small words.
Zone availability zone is nothing but in one region, not in one region, in some regions, Microsoft has planned a high latency, low latency network between some buildings. That's all. Simple words. Low latency network, very fast network between some buildings. So if you as a customer want to choose my VM must go to X building, that building, this building, you have that option. So building level safety you can create. Hari, that's a big, I don't know, sir, all of you, if you're seeing this one, it's a very good advantage for a customer. Previous example, which I told 50 VMs, 100 VMs will go into one rack. My rack gone, I am dead with everything, all gone, sir. But here it is not the case. One building gone, no problem. I have another building. So I have, or maybe I have 100 VMs, 25, 50, 33 I'll keep here, 33 I'll keep here, 33 I'll keep here. So I can balance my VMs between those zones. Or if I have more money, sir, 100 VMs I will keep here. I will create cluster and safety for those 100 VMs in other buildings if I have budget. So 100, 100, 100, 300 servers I will create. Remaining 200 are my safety. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying if I have budget money, then I am saying. And configure cluster between them. So your choice, sir. Building level safety, zone level safety, I'm so sorry. Zone level safety or building level safety is provided with the help of availability zones. So Vijay Bhaiya will test this after some time. As of now, I'm selecting zone 1 only.
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions, sir? Quickly. Done, sir. Thank you. Let's move on. So next one, because this one is little one more topic left called availability set.
Actually,
So availability set. So availability set says, if you select availability, no, I'll remove zone. Okay, I'll remove zone. So availability set is available in every data center. Got it? Every data. But by the way, sir, when you are picking zone, you can't pick up set. Remember? Agree? Either you can pick up a zone or you can pick up a set. So availability set is a different topic itself. So let's not compare zone with a set, sir. Zone gives you building level safety, zone level safety. You can do a very, very, very properly planned always on AG setup if you want as a DB. And sir, availability set also you can plan always on AG, but wait for me to finish this conversation. So availability set says that I don't care about buildings. Availability set says that I care about racks. Rack, power racks. Okay, so let me rather show with a picture, so that will be much more easier. Just bear with me, sir. Just 1 minute. Hari, you have got a requirement to create 20 VMs. So just imagine, sir. Hari got a requirement to create 20 VMs. Yeah, it's there now. So watch this. Hari got a requirement to create 20 VMs. I'll show you. Come on. Yeah. So if you are creating 20 VMs, where is it? Yeah. So if you're creating 20 VMs, watch this one, sir. You can use a concept called availability set. And in availability set, you have concept called fault domains and update domains. So fault domains and update domains, both. So what is a fault domain? What is an update domain? Update domain, I'll talk at the last. First, let's talk about the fault domain. So what Microsoft says is, Hari, I will give you a privilege of creating a VM. Now we are doing so. What we can do is we can select an availability set option and tell that I want to create an availability set and give a name. So a set 1, or let me put KD-A set 1, availability set 1. How many fault domains you want? I can select maximum 3, sir. 3 fault domains, but I don't think it will allow me to create 3 because of my subscription limitations. Maybe 2 or 3 also it is allowed. Yeah, 3 is allowed, sir. 3 fault domains. Hari, how many VMs you're going to create now? Let's say 30 VMs you want to create. Example, Hari, 30 VMs you want to create. What you can do, sir? Create an availability set. Okay. Set how many fault domains you're creating? 3 fault domains. So first VM when you are creating, it goes to first fault domain. That means it's a rack. So rack level safety. Second VM when you are creating, then also you select the same availability set. The second VM goes to second rack. When you create a third VM, sir, third VM goes to third rack. When you create the fourth one again, it comes to the first one. Fifth goes to second. Sixth goes to third. 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that, sir. So each fault domain will get how many VMs in it? 10. So ideally 10, because total 30 we are creating, right?
Okay.
30 VMs. And so your VMs are technically split into separate racks. So, availability zone gives you what level safety? Building level safety. Availability set gives you what, sir? Rack level safety. So, and each rack will have a separate power supply and separate network. So there's a saying, sir, something is better than nothing, right? So rather than no safety, so it's not, for example, Jaguda, you're creating Jagdish is creating a VM in South India. And sir, South India is not an availability zone. Agree? That means you don't have that building level safety. But Jagdish still wants to plan protection, sir. So Jagdish, you have only one option, sir, availability set. And in availability set also what you can do, you can create fault domains, 2 or 3 or how many ever you want. And sir, now minimum 1, 2, 3. That is the options that are present. Right, sir? That's it. So So Jagdish, you can plan your VMs in such a way that all the 30 VMs are not going into one location, one rack, sir, extreme risk. At least you can split them into different racks. But sir, you don't know which rack it is going into. Microsoft will never reveal and tell you, hurry, your VM is in so-and-so rack number 23, rack number 57. That information they will never tell. Okay, but assured and guaranteed that it's in a separate rack. That's a promise made, and it's a business thing. Any questions now, sir? Fault domain, questions on fault domain.
KD, can I choose to create an VM on a required fault domain? And will you get at least that information, like, you know, since suppose like, you know, this VM is on the fault domain 1, 2.
Okay, no, sir. No, actually what you're saying is if I have 3 fault domains, can I create a VM? I want my VM to go to the third one, not the first and second. That option we don't have. Because when you start creating 1 by 1 VMs, they are auto allocated. So it's not in our control, especially for fault domains.
You can't say that if you create one domain, I mean one VM, it may either go to fault domain 1 or 2 or 3. You can't say, right?
We can't say. Like a building selections. I want in zone 1, I want in zone 2, I want in zone 3. We can say, right? Here we can't
just think like this, KD. I mean, we have created 3 fault domains, and as our requirement, it's 30 VMs we should create. Okay, I just created only 3 VMs. Then I can say that these 3 VMs are available in this 1, 2, 3, like that.
Auto allocated 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Auto allocated.
But
I mean, it's a number. No, it might first VM might go to fault domain 3 also, right?
No, sir. First VM goes to FD0. Hey, by the way, the fault domains also are given numbers. FD always starts with a 0. So if 3 fault domains you are creating, FD0, FD1, FD2. So your first VM will definitely go to FD0 only. If you're creating a second VM and keeping them in the same fault, same availability, so you should select availability set.
Okay.
So second VM you are creating, selecting same availability set, then this time it will go to FD1. Third VM will go to FD2. So, but that selection option you don't have, auto allocation only.
But we can say that, right? My fourth VM is in FD01.
You can say, because if you know the order of creation, if you know the order, no need to assume also, sir. We can go and check also and see where it is located also. Every VM you can go and see, oh, this VM is located in FD0. I can see. If this, second VM is present, you can see it, so you can visually see it. But you can't choose is what I'm saying, Puru, to answer your question as well.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, this all at this level is not required, to be frank, sir. We just blindly create VMs, but for the sake of understanding, for having a clarity, because sir, I can bet and tell you tomorrow you will work on 2 platforms. Sir. Either you will work on in your office environment, wherever you are. If you already work, some of you are already working, by the way. So you have your VMs in the cloud, either you do that, or second one, sir, you have databases in the cloud, PaaS. So either you use PaaS or IaaS. That is why we are doing this discussion at this detail, sir. And definitely I can bet and tell you will interact with your cloud administrators or Azure administrators or Azure architects. And when you do that conversations with them, sir, these things will really help. And if they say, hey, Jagdish, you want a VM, but in this region, do you want a zone or not? So if those conversations are happening, at least we should be confident on those terminologies, right? Oh, this guy is saying zone. Oh, okay. That means, this area is a zone. That clarity, we can be actively participating with those conversations. That's the only reasons. Other than that, not wasting time here. Any questions more? So then if fault domain is clear, so I will create, let's do some demos on this one now. We'll create some VMs now and do some testing. Are you ready, sir? Quickly. I'm sure you need a break now. I'm sure you need a 5 minutes. Sorry, yeah, Puru.
Yeah, I think I missed the update domain. Is that not discussed? I'm sorry.
No, update domain is not. We did not talk about. We did not talk about update.
That's fine. That's fine. I just went to pick a call, so I thought like.
No, only FD was discussed. No UD.
Okay.
So now, how many fault domains can be maximum, sir? 3, 3, right? Can somebody Google and tell me the answer?
Is that depend upon the subscription?
In an availability set, how many fault domains maximum can be there, sir?
5.
Perfect. Correct answer. 5 fault domains maximum. But KD, why you have 3 only? Because my subscription restrictions. When you create yours, so you can check once what will be for you. But for me, it's 3. I'm sure you also will have only 3. Free users also 3 only. Okay, done, sir. Now, KD, what is UD? Let's complete the UD and take a small 5-minute break. So what is UD? UD means update domain. So update domain means, let's say, Hari, you created 30 servers now, right, sir? All 30 servers, what you have done, you created 3 UDs. You may create 1 UD also. It's your choice. If you create 1 UD, all your 30 servers are part of that same UD, 1 UD. UD means update domain. So now in simple words, what is update domain? Patching. So all these are servers only, right? Patching is compulsory as per the process. You have to patch them. So if patching is going on, all 30 will be patched at the same time. So complete downtime for your environment. Do you really want it? Definitely not. So, sir, that is why you can break into 2 update domains if you want. Then if you do 2 update domains, when your VM is getting created, first VM goes to UD1, FD0, UD1. So let me create 3, sir. So for that, well balanced. Huh? So my first VM will go to FD0, UD0. So 30 VMs I have. Listen, please. 3 fault domains you have. Okay, sir. And let's say 3 update domains you have. Tell me, sir. VM1 goes where? FD0. UD0. I have 2 UDs, sir. 2 UDs. FD0, UD0. Correct?
Yeah.
VM2. FD1.
UD1.
VM3.
FD0, UD0. UD0.
FD3.
FD2.
Correct, sir. Okay, thank you. So FD2, because there is second FD, so total 3 FDs are there, sir. So FD2, again UD0. And as I mean, whatever I'm telling now, I'll show you. So give me 2 minutes, please. VM4 goes into, again, FD0. So like that, so that's what, now you got the point, right? It is auto allocated. We have no control. But one good thing is, sir, for all your 30 servers, they are in 10 separate racks. That's a good safety. At least 10 you are protecting. No, KD, I want more safety. Then create 5 FDs, sir. Create 5 FDs. Or even do one thing, sir. Create them in separate availability sets. So you can say planning is your part. You can do anything. So now, what is UD now? Please tell me. So this will be patched. These 2 will be patched together. These 2 will be patched together like that. That is meaning of UD, update domain. And sir, between one update and another update, so 30 minutes plus gap will be there. And you can create up to 20 UDs, by the way. Am I right, Jagdish? Is that correct number, sir? 5 fault domains in one availability set. 20 UDs in an availability set is the limitation. So this is an interview question as well. So 5 fault domains, 2 update domains. So done with all the terminologies. I don't have anything.
So KD here, if you switch to the notepad, please. The one we tested that example. Yeah. So here FD0, UD0, the combination is there, right? And if in case next occurrence of like around VM6 or VM7, the combination FD0 and UD0 comes, the patch will go like 2 sets at the same time, right? Wherever the combination. Is that correct?
I'll just do this.
FD0.
That's what I'll do. First, I'll put FD and UD so we can fill it easily later. So 2 minutes. There's a reason why I'm doing. Everyone just have a little patience. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2,
0, 1, 0, 1.
Sorry, now what was the question, sir?
So here VM7 and VM1 will go at the same time, the downtime, right?
Correct. So VM1, VM3, VM5, VM7, VM9, all of them will be down at the same time. Correct. So rather than entire environment going down at the same time, we can split them into UDs so they don't get affected at the same time. Correct. If patching is going on. And so now you may ask a question, KD, why should Microsoft do the patching? I will do my patching on whenever I plan it. Okay, that is also an option. But so there are some patches which Microsoft has to apply at any cost, not waiting for the customer for safety and security protection. So they also do some patch management. So in those cases,
is there any timeline? Is there any time?
They will send a communication first of all. Whenever they do it, they send the communication. So we'll be informed.
So KD, can you please, if you don't mind, brief about FT or any quick statement like?
If you have to write the lines, right? So let's
layman,
first of all, let's write down in words. So what is availability zone, sir? Let's write, because we're not written for both of them.
Set of regions.
Set of regions.
In some, no, we'll mention clearly, sir. In some Microsoft regions, they have created building level safety. Am I right?
And low latency.
Building level safety with extremely low latency network of 2 milliseconds. That's it. If now, I mean, a customer means, so we can choose the zone when creating the VMs. I mean, so I'm giving simple our own words. I'm not even talking about any official bookish definitions at all. So I hope you agree with me. And this allows us to create a great HA setup. Agree, sir? High availability setup, not DR, high availability setup. Any questions? Okay, next one, sir. What is availability set? This will take bookish definition helps because we need it. So availability sets, I have it here. Just a minute, please. So it's all there in the Evernote, please. I mean, the content is there out there, just letting you know. So, very simple words. I like this definition. Last time also we talked about it. Okay, here you go. So availability zone means if you're seeing an availability zone is a logical grouping capability, right? That we can use in Azure to ensure that the VM resources are placed within it, are isolated. In simple words, are isolated, meaning you can decide where you want to keep them and isolate them, keep them separate. Isolation can be done from each other. That's also bookish definition. What is fault domain? Fault domain assures what? Help me, sir. Failures from power and network, and keeps VMs in what's a separate racks. That's all. And then update domain. Update domain assures patch management, and downtime of the servers can be minimized. That's also, I mean, I think it's there in the content again, so please, but just for our discussion, we are writing down a simple notes. That's all. Not everything will write notes, but this one only, right? So any questions anybody have finally? Else, we have to create a VM. We have got to take a 2 minutes break and 5 minutes break and come back. We will create a VM, and we'll also do a Linux VM as well. And these two at least will complete, would be good kickstart for this week. Sir. And remember, I already told you this week is just the warm-up types. Next week onwards, we go intense. So
Maybe I
one.
had a question.
Yeah.
Okay, may not be relevant, but like, so my understanding is like, suppose like all these topics, I mean, like, setting up an availability zone, update and all these things comes when I'm properly planning for a data center kind of thing, like, or a resource group in this Azure terminology, right? So, but here we're getting a option of changing the sets and the domain dynamically when you're trying to create a VM itself.
Correct.
Right. So
after creating VM, we can't do.
Okay. Okay.
That was the question, right?
Yes.
That was actually my next point, and you took it out. Absolutely.
Okay.
So everyone, what Puru is saying is, all of you, please listen. Once when you are creating VM, then only you have these options. And once you create the VMs, you can't move it between fault domains and update because we don't have the hardware level infra control. So it's only during creation time. Once mistake is done, once it's created, again you have to decommission, dismantle, and again set it up. Recreate the VM and put where you want. So correct, Puru. Not possible once it is created.
While creating virtual machine, are they going to instruct us to select the fault domain, update domain as well?
See, no, these are all technologies which are available. Sir. No Microsoft would assist or recommend or tell us anything because it is
such
your
request. Are they going to receive it? We have to. Yeah.
They will not give any guidelines and nothing they will tell because it is definitely the architect, the cloud administrators and architects, and of course you as a database administrator should sit and plan and do this one. So you will not receive any recommendations from Microsoft. Definitely not. Definitely not, sir.
One more question, sir. We're actually dealing with creating a one VM and availability for that VM. Yeah, right. So in the earlier stage, when I say we will be having a zone, right? We had an option of creating a VM in 2 or 3 different zones based on our subscription limits there, right? So in the same case, when it comes to the availability set, right? If I set fault domain into 5, are the 5 VMs going to create for me?
No. First of all, when you say fault domain 5 and create an availability set, sir, availability set will be created, meaning it's logical. 5 VMs will not be created. So when you create the VM one by one, and when I create the first VM, I should select availability set 1 or whatever set I'm creating, right? Then my first VM will go there. All 5 VMs at one go, boom, will not sit there. Not possible. Not possible.
Okay.
So one by one VMs, when you keep creating, it starts allocating to that racks.
Okay. So within the resource group, I can create n number of under the one subscription, I can create n number of sets, and I can assign each set to the VM whenever it's required, right?
100%. So you can create n number of availability sets. Let's say you have 2000 servers in your company. So technically, it would be ideally wrong to keep all the 2000 servers under one availability set. If you keep also, sir, your fault domains are going to be 5.
Right.
Max 5, right? So maybe in this 2000 servers, I will logically clear them. Okay, in this 2000 servers, production servers. And this production servers also belongs to this application, belongs to this application. So I will do plan like that, sir, availability sets. So I think you're thinking in the right direction. Absolutely, yes. So multiple availability sets, multiple VMs will be assigned to those sets. So that way it will be. And by the way, this all has to come in the beginning itself, sir. It cannot be later. It's part of the initial planning only.
Okay. So, and these values can be changed dynamically in the availability set, right? For the max tolerance and
you're saying 5 fault domains and this one?
Yes.
Okay, so
I mean that 5 is the max. So if I go with the
5
3
is the max.
and
5 is the max.
Yeah.
Maybe my
5 is the max. So suppose if I started with 2, okay, I can increase it later, right?
We'll do that demo now. I'll show a small things.
Oh,
okay. A few minutes. Yeah, we'll see it now. So everyone, first of all, so then on that note, sir, take a 2 minutes break, as I said, 2 or 5 minutes break. 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes break, and time's 8:18, sir. Let's count it as meet you back in 23. I'm putting a timer so that we are back on time. Timer. Break. 5 minutes. Clock. 3. And time starts now. Let's do the lab next Saturday. I missed this part.
KD, one last thing, like, nothing much. So someone asked for the video enablement, right? So there's a shortcut like an Alt V, Alt plus V. So someone can try for it. Like,
You saved me. Wow. I love this, sir.
I just see the shortcut there. I mean, while I'm trying to enable it.
I never saw it actually. Is it? Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Ari is trying it. Yeah. So you know to find for that. Yeah.
Balaji, we got a shortcut. Thanks, Puru. No, it's easy for me next time onwards. So what's for the mic? What's for the mic? You see?
Alt A. Alt A.
Alt A.
Alt A.
Okay, sir. I love this. Thank you, Puru. Thanks for giving a shortcut.
We all love the Microsoft because of this.
Yeah. So then again, have a great weekend. Get back to life again, as I always say. And let's have more fun from starting next week, sir, because this week is more of a warm up, and you already know it. And thanks for your time today. And I hope the content was sorry.
Running note. Can you share us that?
Yeah, I'll put it in a WhatsApp group itself right away. I'm doing it. And I have
yesterday I didn't receive anything. So have you shared in the mail or?
No, I missed it. So I just after class I rushed out. So I've sent the running notes, whatever I put it into the notepad into the WhatsApp group. I'll put the content also. Give me 2 minutes. And next one, sir. Next Saturday onwards, we'll have demos to play by. Evernote will be our mode of communication. And I hope, sir, today's session was useful. I hope today's session there was some learning. To some, you might be knowing it already. Jagdish, excuse me for that because you know this stuff. I know it, sir. So, and few others, you already know this. So, but sir, to just bring everybody into one page, we had to kind of discuss that today. Done, sir? Thank you. Then let's reconnect.
Please add me in the group.
Oh, Hari, sure, I'll do it. Okay, everyone, let's reconnect next Saturday, sir. Yes, Manoj, is there a question?
Shall I call after class?
Yeah, sure, Manoj, definitely. Okay, done, everyone. Let's reconnect. Coming Saturday and Friday, please create your accounts and keep it ready, sir, because we need the labs to be going at any cost. Huh? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thanks, Kadi. Bye.